our faith, where we find where we belong. Grateful for his love every single day. Empowered for his days past, lighting on the way. Raise to the heights, in unity we rise, with love and resilience, reach for the skies.
Hey everybody, I am Kay.
And I am Tiara.
Welcome back to the It's Our Time podcast, a safe space for women where we talk all things growth, healing, and just really showing up for yourself. Today we have a special guest with us today, joining in on the conversation of healing and why it's not always soft. We have Yusuf Suki-son.
Yeah. Goodman.
And he's a speaker, an author, and a doctoral candidate who life reflects the resilience and transformation. Born into adversity in Philadelphia, he experienced poverty, abuse, homelessness, and incarceration at a young age. And despite those challenges, he made a decision to persevere and change his life, eventually returning to school after more than 2 decades and graduating with a 3.98 GPA.
Yes,
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
He is now pursuing his PhD.
Yeah.
Wow.
Combining lived experience with academic insight to speak on healing, accountability, and personal growth. His message centers on discipline, emotional awareness, and breaking destructive patterns, offering a perspective that bridges real life experience with intentional transformation. Welcome.
Wow. That sounds crazy hearing that back.
Wow.
I never heard nobody say it. So yeah, that's wow.
Some great accomplishments.
Yeah,
here.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the introduction. Thank y'all for having me. I'm honored to be here, really.
Yeah, we welcome you. Our first male
Yes.
guest.
Oh, this is the first. I'm the first.
No, yes.
Yeah, the first male here.
I got y'all, fellas. I got y'all.
You got you.
Oh yeah, I'm honored.
The best.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm honored. I appreciate that. I'm honored.
Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself that they didn't hear from me?
Well, I came from South Philly Projects. I was born in South Philly Projects, Fifth Street Projects, raised in North Philly. Single mom. Let me see. I went into the system at 11. My first charge was armed robbery at 11. So I stayed in the system. Ended up getting my GED at a juvenile joint. Then life just started life, and after that, just a lot of different situations. Man, I don't want to go too far into that, but basically I came from everything I needed to be where I'm at.
Right.
Yeah, like you'll never hear me say I came from nothing.
Right.
Nah, I came from everything I needed to be where I'm at.
Okay.
That's amazing. Especially being incarcerated at a young age and still pursuing your GED. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that, I thought about that one day. I think that, first of all, stay in school. But I think that, not going to school, because I never graduated junior high. So, I went straight into the system. Then after that, it was just, I got a GED and it was just back outside. Wow. Right. But I think that not going all the way through school, it was a gift and a curse, because one, it didn't train me. You get trained from kindergarten all the way up until 12th grade. They basically training you to, it's like an assembly line.
Right.
They testing the kids the same exact way over and over and over again. Right. I think that for me, not going through that, it just gave me a sense of, help me understand who I am as an individual. Okay. But it also hurt me in college as well, because I didn't have the same, training, the same conditioning mentally that the other students had. But, I still persevered though.
And you went to go be a doctor. You didn't just go to college just to do anything. Yeah. So I initially went to school. So I lost my mom in 2016. So in 2017, I decided to go back. I started at the beginning of 2018, and I was just going to go do a couple semesters. Okay.
Like really. Like I was like, I just want to go ahead because she always just want me to go to school. So I said, all right, cool. I'll go there, do a couple classes just to satisfy her. But when I went there, it was this one professor, my health psychology professor, you know, and she, it was time for me to stand up and speak. It was one of my first classes. Mind you, I didn't know what a syllabus was. And so I was nervous. I was the only man in the classroom. I had like 20 other people, but I was the only man in the classroom. Oh, wow. And I had, she was the professor. So I got up to talk. I was already nervous. You know, public speaking is one of the hardest things, you know, people fear that, right? So, yeah, right. So I get up to speak. I'm already nervous. And she just berated me. She just went in on me. She like picked me apart.
She did.
Yeah, she picked me apart to the point where one of the students was like, is this personal? Because everything he said, you kind of like, you know, contradicting him. And I remember, so we had a meeting with the dean. And long story short, I asked her a question. I said, hey, would you have treated me like that if I was a scholar? She said, no. So I said, okay. At that point, I said, now I'm going to go be a doctor and I want her job.
Yeah. That was your push.
Yeah.
That was your
push. I'm kind of the person where you just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. Like, really, I'm really the person where I'm super gentleman. I just want everything to, and then it's like, you know, just you know what I mean? I'm one of them kind of people who's like, let me be nice.
Yes. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was that.
We all have our drives.
Yeah.
That pushes us. So, anything else you want to let the people know?
No, that's it, man. We can get into it.
Healing journey.
We can get into it.
Yeah. So as a man, why is it so important for a man to heal? And why do you think healing is so important? And why do you think it's not always a pretty sight of healing? Why
I think it's important for a man to heal, why I think it's so important, because we the leaders. We the leaders. So if I'm not healed, where am I leading you to?
Right. That's so true.
Right? True. You know, so nobody's perfect.
Right.
But if I'm still tripping over childhood traumas, you got to trip with me. Kids got to trip with me.
Right.
And I've really done that. Like I've misled a family before. So I know the damage. I know how detrimental it could be if you heal. If you in a position of leadership, but you haven't healed. That's generational trauma you causing. Yeah. So that's why it's important. And you said, why do I think that it's not? Why do I think it's an ugly thing to heal? Because for men, we're taught to be, you know, just solid, 10 toes down. We don't cry. We don't have emotions. We don't have feelings, right? And so, you know, we have to learn we got to learn how to be vulnerable, and that's hard for us. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're vulnerable, man, let me tell you something. You want to push the wrong woman away? Be vulnerable with her.
Really?
Get her the hell out of there ASAP. Because the wrong woman sees weakness when you're vulnerable.
Right, the right woman's going to lift you up.
The right woman see it as, oh, okay, this is a human I'm dealing with.
That's true.
Right? You know, that we more than, you know, penis and provision. Right? So, I feel like as a man, you know, it's an ugly side to it because you don't have anybody to cry to. You have to cry by yourself. You know, women to cry with each other. I ain't crying with no man. Like, ain't no man coming to cry with me. We don't do that. Although we should be able to.
Right.
But that's just not how we do it. It's like, yo, let's just go lift weights.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the gym and punch on something. Right? But really what you need is a hug.
Okay.
But who do you go to get that hug when you're the leader and you're feeling weak?
Right.
That's why it's good to go to your woman?
I think that you have to first have the discernment to choose the right woman.
Right.
If you don't choose the right woman, you have no one to go to.
That's true.
You know, and then that's why we start doing things to cope. So you see men overindulging in certain things because they don't have that soft space to go to. Sometimes you just marry a concrete pillow and you don't really realize it.
Right. Because she hasn't done that work herself.
You know, yeah.
Well, sometimes people like the broken version of you. So you becoming healed and whole, you know, they're not ready for that level of you.
Absolutely.
So you gotta have people around you that's willing and want you to grow because they're growing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm just speaking in general. I'm not speaking on, you know, anybody from my past, but, you know, just I've come across many men, and I've talked to many men. And a lot of times, you know, we choose women based on our circumstances at the time, you know, and that might not always be, you know, what you need, right? You know, so I think it starts with just having the right woman. If you don't have the right woman, it's going to be hard for you to heal.
So are you kind of saying picking somebody to where you're going, not from where you really are, but the person has to be willing to accept you for where you are, so you can kind of get there, kind of, instead of picking somebody from where you at the moment?
So they gave these billionaires, they asked these billionaires one question. They said, what was the best decisions you've ever made with your business? And each billionaire said it without thinking. It was the wife I chose.
True.
The most important decision a man is going to make is the woman that he chooses.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, and so, but a lot of times coming from where we come from, nobody's talking to us about the kind of woman to choose.
Right.
You know?
Everybody's just looking for looks or
No, we trying to survive.
whatever
Like,
things may be.
Yeah.
Whatever you looking for.
like we trying to like for me, I never did a lot of choosing on looks. I didn't do that. Not to say that the women I was with and relationships with weren't beautiful women. I'm just saying that wasn't for me. It was you know what, one of the hardest things I had to realize was I had to come to terms with was every relationship that I've been in, it started with a trauma bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was in a position of neediness at that moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so you make you know, I came up making long-term decisions. I came up making long-term decisions based on temporary circumstances. And that includes the woman that you choose as well.
Yeah.
Where she's coming from, you know, she might be coming from a single parent home as well. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like she's being equipped.
Right.
So you have two people out, one leader not healed and the other one following you who don't know what true leadership looks like.
So we turn each other down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm leading you to ruin and you tearing me up. Yeah.
Instead of a woman like, no, we're on the ship going this way, and if you hop off, but you know the plan still got to get done.
You said a woman doing that?
No, I'm saying like the man and the woman,
Yeah.
both going in the right direction, but if you hopping off, you know, the plan still has to get done.
Yeah.
If, like we both are trauma, whatever like that, we both hopping off. We're like, no, nothing's getting accomplished,
Right.
nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the plan still is the plan.
Yeah.
But our traumas lead us to, you know, doing things we ain't supposed to be doing, cheating or smoking or drinking or, you know, not showing up the best for each other. But when you have a goal, like, you know, you being a leader and stuff like that, you're like, I'm not gonna let you bring me down. I'm not gonna let you stop me from going to school. I'm not, like, the plan still has to get done. You still have those goals within yourself to accomplish, you know, there or not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you want to hop off and do whatever, this goal still has to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need somebody like, you know, that's like that with you, that still got stuff to accomplish and still have stuff to do.
And I learned that a lot of women aren't like that. Like,
Yeah.
we'd rather follow what our man is doing. And you don't have that, they don't have that, that thing where it's though like, I'm gonna step out the box and I'm gonna lead us now. I'm gonna take over. You know, like relationships aren't 50-50, how it's like 80-20. Like you can't lead us in this moment. Let me do it. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of women don't want to do that.
Well, that's going on like your soft girl, like, you know what I'm saying, not being soft or not being feminine. I don't think no woman really wants to, you know, really lead the house and things like that. I think we all looking for the man to be the leader, but that's why you gotta pick the right man to be with that can lead you, so y'all can get somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Even when you don't have that thing to lead at that moment,
we gotta get somewhere.
We gotta be that one to pick them up. Like you gotta fill in that space, fill that void.
Yes, you do. You gotta be able to be there to support him.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're saying, like, you know, definitely gotta have somebody there to have your back and support you and things like that.
Yeah.
And when you fall short, to pick you back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's true. We gotta definitely be like that. So what do you do for healing?
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a All right, so for me, so recently I put up a post, it's actually on my page. One day I just cut off my phone, no TV, no radio, no nothing. And I just sat in my room for 9 hours. And I just talked to God, I talked to myself. And I had to, you know, do some emotional inventory, right? I did a lot of crying that day. So for me, I just learned how to cry. Like, I just learned how to cry. Like, really, like, I remember I cried recently, and the last time I cried before that was 2022, and before that was 2012. Yeah.
So you can remember the date.
Yeah, of course, because it don't happen that much. So yeah, so I just learned how to do that. So for me, it's just working on myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, working on myself, right? That makes me feel good, you know. And I have a routine, which you can kind of probably pick up in my energy, my aura. I have a routine, so I'm very disciplined. Yeah.
So that makes all the difference, being disciplined.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, being able to tell yourself no, that's a big part of healing. Because there's a whole bunch of distractions out.
Yes.
Yeah, distractions come. There's a crazy amount of distractions. Yeah.
Come in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then that's with, you know, knowing the journey you're on.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't let nothing get in your way of that.
Yeah.
So,
How did you feel like once you was in your room and you were crying and praying? Like, how was that feeling for you?
During or after? During, let me see. So during, it just felt like I was just talking to God from my soul. So it was more of a release, you know. It was more of a coming to terms with things, you know, just going to him and saying, you know, like, I'm your son. I know you didn't put me on this planet to just be in pain all my life. That felt like, you know, like I was talking to, you know, the source. Afterwards, when I got up, I just felt lighter.
wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
So really,
Yeah, absolutely.
did you do that recently or?
Yeah, that was just recently. It might have been maybe about a week ago.
Oh, wow.
Might have been, yeah. So maybe a little over a week ago, but yeah, recently. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we just had an episode about fasting and stuff like that. So that was kind of like, would you consider that kind of like a fasting or no? Or you just needed it for that day? You felt like you had to tune out from the world? Like,
well, I guess you can call it a fasting.
Okay.
You know, it was a short fasting. But it was more like a disconnect and then a reconnect for me. You know, so it was like, all right, let me just put everything aside and just go ahead and just talk to God and then talk to myself as well. Yeah.
That was good, recognizing that you needed that
Yeah.
time with him too.
Yeah, I got it. I came out of there and blocked 3 people.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
For real.
It's crazy how those times show you.
Yeah.
And you're not listening to nobody else around you, because sometimes we get distracted by our phones. We hear everybody else's
Absolutely.
opinions and things like that. But
Absolutely.
you able to hear yourself like, nope, I gotta block these 3 people.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And you're big in your religion too. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that we've seen and that we love about you. Like, you want to speak a little bit on that, on your religion? Or?
I'm Muslim. I'm Muslim and I was raised Muslim. And that's how I connect to God. You know, everybody connects to God in their own way. That's how I connect to God.
And you also, you read a lot.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah, I read a lot. I read a lot. So I read a lot for school first, but I also, you know, try to, you know, get in 2 or 3 books a month outside of what I read, you know, for school. Well, the last book I just read, A Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. You know, so
is it like a self-help book?
No. This book is about, you know, this was about, you know, what they did to just the Auschwitz camps and what they did during the Holocaust and what they had to endure. And then in the story, he says, you know, they snatched him away from his wife. So they put him on a train. They blocked off the train windows. And they didn't know where they was going there. Just a whole train full of people don't know where they're going there, separated from wives, everybody.
Wow.
He gets to a camp and he said he didn't realize how fragile life was until he seen 2 guards at the front when they was coming in. And he said one guard was pointing right and one was pointing left. If you pointed the right way, you get to go to the barracks. point left, you die. So they was literally scanning them, saying, you look healthy enough to live. No, you too old, you die. And he said they wore their clothes so much that it started to disintegrate on them. And then they was using pillows, they was using boots as pillows. And he said that, you know, when you have a strong enough why, you can survive anyhow.
Wow.
So yeah. So that was the last book that I read.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
I love a reader.
Would you suggest any books to anybody, any men that's going through healing, anybody? Like, what would you really want to tell a man right now? Because, like, you know, this is always, like, our podcast, like, women-based. Like we said, we bringing men in here.
Yeah.
We want to uplift them, too. That's what we do. We bring love, we bring life, we bring healing to not just women, but to men also. And that's why we brought you on here, because you're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
You speak so much, you know, positivity
Thank
into
you.
the world, to women and to men.
Thank you.
So what would you really want to tell your men that you see what's going on in the world right now? What would you really want to share with them and help them and uplift them and, you know, some things?
What I would say is that, you know, no child should come into the world feeling like they have to save it. Right? You know, and, you know, as men, as little boys, we're conditioned that everything is on our backs. But nobody never really tells us how to strengthen our backs. Nobody tells us that it's okay to hurt. Nobody tells us it's okay to cry. We become just machines with a penis and a paycheck. And, you know, and we pride ourselves on that because that's what society tells us. What I would say to the men is that, you know, tomorrow might not come. You know, there's no guarantee that tomorrow's coming. And you are allowed to hurt. You are allowed to cry. You're allowed to feel fear. You're a human being, right? You know, and it's okay to create an environment that supports that, right? You know, you're not a machine, you know. But what I would tell, you know, any man, because for myself, I tell my kids all the time, so we have this thing, and I say, when you're going through dark times, what do? They say, pray, read, work out, get money, and laugh. Right? Pray, read, work out, get money, and laugh. Get you through any tunnel. Right? I would like to add one. So it's pray, read, work out, get money, laugh, and then serve. Right? And so if you could just find a way to do those things every single day while you're going through a dark moment, you know, the sun will pop up on the other side, you know. Yeah, but you know, and as men, is so important to find not just a woman that looks good, and not just a woman that's strong, but a woman who understands submission. You know, and that seems to trigger most women when you say the word submission. I don't really want you near me if you can't submit, because then you're going to be my destruction. But submission to me is something different than it would be for the average man, right? The average man would look at submission as you're beneath me or you're inferior, right? Me, I say, is subbing a mission, right? So if God put me on a certain path and he gave me a mission, you have to sub that mission, right? And if you give me everything I need to go out and conquer the world, then I have a moral obligation to bring the globe back to your feet. That's the way, that's how it goes, right? And so, you know what I mean? So so I believe that, you know, I think that submission, you have to find a woman who, you know, who has and she has to be conditioned to be submissive. She can't come from a bunch of people who hated men and then say, I'm going to submit. You know what I mean? I heard somebody online say that not too long ago. She said, you know, just talk to us, you know, nicely, and, you know, talk to us kindly, and we'll do whatever you want. We'll submit. And I'm like, no, it don't work that way. You submit because you're conditioned to submit. You understand what I'm saying?
I was looking at your mic.
Yeah, you conditioned to submit, right? Just like a man, you can't just say you're a leader. You just heard me say earlier, you know, if you're not conditioned to be a leader, then you're going to mislead. Right. Yeah. So you have to find a woman who understands submission. And you got to understand that at the end of the day, you know, it shouldn't be this way, but it is. If you don't have money, if you can't provide, you will not be treated like a human being. You know, people are going to kick you, they're going to knock you down, they're going to disrespect you, because society is not geared towards people being human. society is geared towards putting people in boxes, and the box they have men in is just provision and penis. So, you know, don't chase women, chase goals that provide for women.
I like that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because once you get that, you don't never have to chase a woman.
Right.
Women know a winner when they see one.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now you gotta have the discernment because she's a woman and she can spot a winner. You gotta make sure she deserves to be on a winning team.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So what advice would you give a woman about being that person for the man? That's a submissive woman, or, you know, that a man would need to take his life.
What advice would I give her?
Yeah. Like,
Come sit next to me. No,
well,
really.
how much you can't? That's
Yeah.
why we're here.
Yeah,
So
just
get it
yeah.
together.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
a million girls at your door.
No, I think
So-
that for a woman, first, listen, I'm gonna tell you, this is real. You know, at one point I didn't think that this was a real thing, but you gotta know the relationship that she had with her father. You gotta know that, man. The first man that ever hugged her, loved her, held her, how she speaks to him,
Yeah.
how she deals with him. You can't expect for a woman to say, I'm gonna respect you more than I respected the man who balls I came out of. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was the first love she had. Right? And so I'm not saying that she can't be a good woman if she didn't have a good relationship, but she has to be aware that not having a good relationship with the first man she ever met can impact her, and then she has to change from that point. But it's very important, ladies, to let me tell you, I met this one woman, right? I'm not gonna say her name, man. I met this one woman. I almost said her name. But I used to sit and watch her. I used to sit and watch her talk to her dad. And I used to be sitting there looking like, damn, her dad let her talk to him like that? Like, she used to be talking reckless to her dad. Like, I used to be like, who you talking to? She's like, I'm talking to my dad. It sounded like she talking to her little brother. But they had that kind of relationship. Yeah, right? And then I started noticing that along the way, she started slipping up and talking to me like that. A little bit, and I'm like, nah, I'm not your dad. Like, this ain't, you understand what I'm saying? You know, so it's very important for ladies to understand that is impactful. The relationship that you have with your father is going to impact the relationship that you have with men overall, even if it's on an unconscious level. That's just the way it is. And also, she has to understand that men fall. We falter, we fall, we have ups, we have downs. But I'm gonna say this to you. This is very important. Never ever kick a man when he's down. Never do that, right?
Right.
If you put your foot on a man's back, he gonna do one or two things. He gonna do push-ups or he gonna lay there. If he lay there, then he's not a man. He get exactly what he's supposed to get. But if he start doing push-ups, then your ass got a problem.
Right.
Because when he get up, he gonna be way more than you can handle. Because he had to get up. He had to get up with your foot on his back. And also, when you put your foot on a man's back, understand that in order to keep your foot on somebody's back, you got to be willing to stay there with him. So if he can't go nowhere, you can't go nowhere, right?
Right.
And that's what. So when you see things like when you watch people like 50 Cent. He's a prime example of someone who where people like Irv Gotti openly admitted that they blackballed him, that they put their foot on his back. They openly admitted that. So rest in peace to Irv. You know, I met him before. He was, you know, good dude. But he openly admitted that he told people that don't deal with him. And if you do, you can't deal with me. But what that did was it pressured 50 to start now going the mixtape route, and he started putting out more and more music, right? And then they boxed him out from so many places that he ended up going to Dr. Dre and Eminem, which is basically, you know, they're like the outcasts of the industry. Anybody who's an outcast goes to them. So when they put their foot on his back, when it was time for him to get up, he was a little more than they could handle. You know, the Wanksters hit a little hard. The In the Club record hit a little harder because he has so much energy from having people put their foot on his back, right? So yeah, be very careful if you ever kick a man when he's down, he's never going to forget that.
Right.
Never. And then on the flip side of that is that when you help a man when he's down, he never forgets that. So if you help a man and things don't work out, he'll hold you in a certain regard for the rest of his life. Like, men are really like dogs. We really, no, I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of us are, you know, Rottweilers.
Okay.
Some of us are, you know, some of us are pit bulls. Some of us are Yorkies.
That's what I said.
But at the end of the day, we dogs, and we don't forget who gave us that food when it was raining and we didn't have a doghouse.
Right.
But we also don't forget who kicked us when we were puppies or we were too weak to defend ourselves. Yeah.
I feel like we all need each other. Like, we really do all need each other and uplifting each other and being there supporting each other. Like, all of this men versus women stuff, like, that's never been my thing. I know you talk about dads and stuff like that. Well, my dad got killed when I was 3. And I just now, like, did my healing journey and stuff like that. And I had to release my dad. Because, not in a bad way, but I released, because I didn't really know my dad. And I was like, I was finding guys that looked just like my dad. But I was overgiven for the love that I wanted to give my dad. You know, and everybody didn't deserve that love. So that's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks of getting through that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said the last 2 weeks? Wow.
I really took a look within myself. You know?
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. I'm going to tell you, yeah, that's deep. You know what? Yeah, go ahead.
So, you know, any advice you could give to me, somebody who never had their father, who always yearned for their father, but ended up sometimes not in good situations and overextending and overloving and being that submissive woman and all of those things. But I was looking for in the wrong, I don't know, I guess, I don't know if it was the image or, I don't know why, but the guys I would date and stuff would end up looking like my dad.
No, that's a real thing, right? I read this book called The Secret. You ever read that? A book called The Secret, where it says that we attract. You know, once you say you want something, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, every time I see something that I want, I promise you, and I put out an energy, it come right to me. I'd be like, why this person right here? I'm like, oh, that's right, because you lusted after that. And it'd be right there, right? No, that's a real thing, right? So I think that's, you know, the power of attraction is real. What I would tell a woman who didn't have the chance to experience her father is that I would say, just sit down and write down how you want to be treated, right? And say, you know what, these are the things that work for me. Like, okay, so for me, I say that love is a verb, right? I don't want to go off on a tangent, right? But love is a verb, which means that it's something that you do. So, you know, for me, being in love with somebody means that I have a list and I come to Kay, I say, Kay, this is my list right here. These are the things that I deem as love. Like, if I took y'all in my place right now, I have this thing called a love jar. And in it, I take out something every day and I do it. That's self-love to me, right? So I would say, this is my list. And you have to do those things even when you're mad at me. So when I piss you off, you still got to do those things, right? And then for you have to say, you know what, Sierra, you would say, okay, these are the things that I deem as love. Then I have to look at that list and I have to say, okay, you know what, Sierra, I can do 1, 2, but 3, you tripping. I'm not doing that, right? Right? But you have to be real about that, right? Because that person might not be the love for you if they can't do that. And if that's a requirement, right? So I would tell a woman who never had a father to sit down and write down the things that she deemed as being love able for her. And then say, I now got to find a man who matches this. That's the best advice I can give her, because she didn't have that, you know, intimacy. She didn't have that level of, you know, just being with her father and just bonding with him. I would tell her that.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because everybody on different, you know, ends of that. So
yeah,
I appreciate us touching both.
Yeah.
Well, I think this was really pretty good. Anything else you want to talk about, or, you know, think that we should touch on before we let you go on your busy day?
No, I think we should go in now. Yeah, we done with the questions, right? Yeah. No, we can go in. We can go in now. Yeah.
What's going on?
No, let's talk. No, let's talk about relationships for real. Now we got we gave y'all what y'all needed, right?
Okay.
Y'all have y'all instructions. Y'all got the discipline side. Everything was.
Okay.
Now let's talk some shit now. Let's get into it now.
Okay.
All right? Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about men and women, not men versus women.
Yeah, we don't like that. Right.
Okay?
Yeah, no.
All right? Just men and women.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what you're looking for?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for commitment. I'm looking for somebody that I can trust, somebody who considers me in all aspects. And
What aspects?
like all aspects, like you consider me in every way you would want me to consider you.
Right.
Everything, whether it's taking out the trash or not me per se taking out the trash, but like just doing little tasks around the house, anything.
You want a man to consider you the way you would consider him.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because men are we're not wired that way.
That's what I'm hearing.
Because we're
Yeah.
nurturers
That's what I'm
and they
hearing.
Yeah. We're providers and protectors, right? That's our first. A father's love is a disciplinary love. A mother's love is a nurturing and caring love.
Right.
There's gonna always be some ways where you're going to consider me, I wouldn't consider you. Just like with you, if me and you walking down the street, and I'm going to have you away from the curve, right? You wouldn't consider me in that way. And then two, I'm watching everything. So I'm watching the people in front of us. I seen the car that rode around twice. I'm watching the guy that's walking a certain angle. My mind is 100% securing you.
Right.
You can't give me that level of consideration.
I understand that, like those different types of like gender considerations. Like, of course, you want to be looking out for me on the edge of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I mean, always walking on the outside.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, of course, but just like in areas where as though, all right, that's the way you consider me, I'm going to consider you while we walking down this street, and I'm not going to be looking at the next man or doing other things,
Being respectful.
Listen.
Being respectful.
So the reason why I said that to you, right, is because when I hear people say, I want you to consider me like I consider you, it sounds like 50-50. And nothing is 50-50. It's gonna always be, I'm 80 to your 20, or you 60 to my 40, 70 to my 30. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna always be that, because in some areas I'm going to be stronger, in some areas you're going to be stronger, right? So it's never going to be the same.
Right.
Never. You. How about you?
What was the question again?
Yeah. What are you looking for? Do you know what you're looking for? No, that's honest. Do you know what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for, well, I'm not really looking for anything, but just being loyal. Like, I'm a loyal person, so I will want my partner to continue to be loyal.
Okay.
And that not being hard for them, like choosing me behind my back and in front of my face. I think with all of the distractions and stuff like that goes on in the world, it's hard for people to be loyal and being, honest and things like that. Yeah.
Have you ever cheated?
No.
You never cheated?
No, I never cheated.
Have you ever cheated?
I have.
But I have been cheated on. So.
But you've never cheated?
No.
Why did you cheat?
I wasn't healed. I wasn't not healed. I wasn't like in a good space. I was like a little broken at the time.
Okay.
So, I just went outside and did other things to look for things to make me whole.
Right.
And sex, you felt like sex was gonna make you whole?
No, not even just sex. Like sometimes I didn't even have it's not even like a sex thing. It's just like emotional attachment with somebody else, just talking to somebody else.
And then it leads to that.
Sometimes,
But not because you offer anything, but sometimes, like, I had a conversation with somebody before, and I'm like, you gotta be able to talk to me. Like, we gotta really be able to be friends. Because sometimes those conversations, you go have it with somebody else, and then that person or that man end up being, oh, well, I would never treat you like that. And that's how the cheating stuff starts sometimes, by not being able to talk to your partner. You really have to have conversations and really put everything out. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to somebody else for validation.
Not every partner you're able to talk to.
Right. You got to get up out of there then.
For sure.
So that's why you cheated. You needed validation?
Not validation, just like something that I wasn't getting there. I just felt like somebody else was giving me.
Yeah. Cheating to me is doing anything that you wouldn't do anything behind my back. You wouldn't do if I was around.
Right.
So yeah, that's the same. Is the same for me.
But that's loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty is big.
Like,
Loyalty is big for me.
Me too.
If you gotta hide it, like you gotta curb it, it's cheating.
How do you feel about like somebody forgiving after being cheated? Like, you know, on a woman, should a woman take a man back after he's cheated? Will he continue to do the same thing? Like, can he change? Like, tell us. Like, you wanna get raw? Let's get real. What's that?
So, okay, so look. Okay, so all right, so look at this. So, it is a double standard.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say act like it's not. It's double standards in anything, right? If we having a disagreement in the house, and you call the cops and you say he pushed me, I'm going to jail. We have a disagreement and the cops come and I say I want her to go to jail. So one of them cops gonna say, "Come on, bro,
Right.
you really gonna put your girl in jail?" Right? It's always a double standard. So now I say that to say this: when it comes to a man and a woman, and it comes to cheating, understand this. All right. So look, I'm a mountain climber. You are a mountain, right? So the more mountains I climb, the more experience I get. Right? It actually raises my value. I have more experience. The more people that climb your mountain brings your value down.
For sure.
Right? So we don't want nobody else putting a flag at the top of your mountain.
Right.
So for a woman looking at a man that cheated, that was disloyalty. That was wrong. Foul. I'm not excusing the behavior. But what I'm saying to you is that women know that men don't have sex with their emotions. But you just heard what she said. She started out with emotionally. As men, we know you connected with him. We know it was, unless you just married a slut. We know for a fact you was feeling him. You liked him. He's on your mind. With us, a man that cheating don't even know her name. You understand what I'm saying? He could bend her over, do what he going to do, get up, and he's already thinking about leaving before he's already thinking about how he getting rid of her before he take the condom off. You understand what I'm saying? And you feel me? Right. So women know that. So I think that it is different. Do I think that a woman should take a man back? No, I don't. I don't think a woman should take a man back, but they do. If you a man and you take a woman back after another dude been in her on your watch, then you're not a man. It is what it is, because here's the thing, right? And I'm not trying to belittle nobody, but men don't love casually, they love territorially. Another man came and lived in your home while you was living there. I don't want you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, your body looks different to me.
Yeah.
When you walk past me, I used to want to grab you and touch you. Now I'm like, ew.
Right.
But I have a question about that, because what about if a man cheat or whatever like that, and then y'all break up and whatever like that, and so now y'all not together, and then months later y'all get back together or something like that, and y'all both have dated other people? Would that still be considered the same thing? Because it feels like the person who cheated kind of pushed you out here to the streets when you didn't want to be in the streets.
Yeah.
You wanted to be with your family, but you like, I'm not gonna sit here waiting for you.
Yeah, so
that's kind of...
So you saying like once you've been out there dating and he been dating?
Yeah. Is that a little different?
It's, as men...
Because this happens all the time.
It happens all the time. I think that as men, I mean, just being realistic, okay, she's going to go out, she's going to be with people.
Right. Yeah. Because you pushed her there. You got to admit that. Like, I messed up.
For me,
right?
Personally, I don't care where you've been at if it wasn't on my watch.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm not thinking about who you was with, right? But for most men, is, you know, that's in the back of their mind, like, damn, you was really... Because see, look, to us, right, when y'all have sex with somebody else, it was the best sex in the world. Every man who thinks... but that's how we think. We think it was like the best sex ever. It was mind blowing. We like, damn. So in our minds, we you know, because we're creative as well, right?
But in our minds, we crying because we didn't want to be doing it.
Nah, nobody. Nah, you're not crying while you're doing it. You doing it. Nah, you doing it because it feel good to you, right? But I think you should be able to deal with a woman and say, all right, that's who you dealt. All right, cool. It had nothing to do with me. But for most men, it's going to be, damn, your value went down.
Yeah.
It's like coming back to a car it was like a rental car now.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, yo, who left these French fries here?
It's
You know what I'm saying?
not the same after you cheat on somebody.
It's
It's
not.
like,
I
all
don't even
right,
look at them the same.
I don't even want to try to work it out because I already know
Right.
things are not going to ever be the way it was.
Because you lose respect.
Yeah.
You know, lose respect.
And sometimes y'all can lose respect for each other.
Yeah.
You lose. So you saying you would never want to be with a man that cheated on you?
That you cheated on?
That I cheated on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
that
a
you
woman.
cheated on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they take me back.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to do that.
I can be with a man if I had to cheat on him.
Huh?
If I had to cheat on a man, I wouldn't be with him. Like for women, like I'm like, if I gotta cheat on a man that I'm with, I don't need to be with that man.
Yeah, I don't think that a woman should respect a man that takes her back after she slept with somebody else. It just don't make sense to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it comes across as, I don't know, low self-esteem, docile, just not having a, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to be paying for the rest of your life.
Right.
Oh no, he gonna punish you.
Yes.
Yeah, you not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be with a man. that cheated on.
Yeah. Any man that says they take you back after you cheated, yeah, that's your destruction.
Right.
Yeah, because he's about to be
Yes.
everybody on the hit list. Your sisters, your
Yeah.
friends, your mother, anybody is on the hit list.
Wow.
And that's nasty work, but it is what it is though.
Right.
You know?
If I had to step out on that relationship, then that wasn't for me. Like it was something I wasn't getting in that situation that I had to go to someone else.
So you never cheated on nobody, and you saying that if you had to, so you really just like the good girl all the way through.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I've been divorced. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in situations where we broken up, we both went our separate ways and things like that. But no, it's not really like if I had to, I'm not going to be with you. So it wasn't. You know, I got out before I was, you know, the one getting cheated. I mean, cheating on people.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. If I'm feeling somebody else is something else that you're not, then you know you have to get up out that seat.
Okay, so why would I break up with you? If me and you was a couple, why would I break up with you? Why would I break up with you?
I don't want to answer that question.
Okay.
I don't think you would.
Okay. All right. So
Or it could be communication and comprehension. Maybe that.
you think so? So you saying that men have had a problem with how you comprehend and how you communicate?
No, maybe because I don't know. I think I hold people to like a really high standard because I hold myself to a really high standard, and maybe that's too high sometimes for people to, you know, get there, or whatever the case may be. So they want the access, but not the responsibility that come with it. Because with me, you know, it's a lot that come with me. I hold down my children, myself by myself. So you have to be able to, you know, I'm not asking for the world. I'm not asking for, you know, I've been with people and help them grow and become better because that's what I do. I'm a healer. I pour into you. But sometimes I don't get that back, and I'm not asking for that back because I don't feel like the people use me. God uses me. But in a man himself, if he's not where he's supposed to be, he could be intimidated by it.
A man would be intimidated by you being independent?
I don't think about being independent, but probably not being able to pour into me the way they would want to. So they're like, I don't want to really mess things up, or you know what I'm saying? Not like I don't know.
They don't feel like you saying they don't feel like they can reciprocate what it is that you bring to the table.
For myself. So it's maybe the people like, you know, just that I've been with. You know what I'm saying? The prior in the past or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would make me fall in love with you?
Everything.
Okay, that was a different. Okay, so give me your top 5 things that would make me fall in love with you.
Being submissive, being positive, being nurturing, being caring, being giving, being kind, uplifting affirmations to my partner, you know, making him feel like he can do anything in the world, like, and being behind him, you know, along the way. So, and really being loyal and supporting him and really being his best friend. You know, and being that soft place where he can come and talk and create and figure life out. So, I think that.
So you know how to submit?
Yes, I do.
So why you get a divorce?
I was with my kid's dad when I was 15. We
Okay.
got married at 21. I didn't know about no submission, loyalty.
So have you been in a relationship where you've been submissive?
Yes.
And how long has that lasted?
3 years.
So you were submissive for 3 years. Okay. And so why did it end if you were submissive? Kind, nurturing, caring. A
It's
healer?
kind of about the things that we kind of said, like we kind of like talked about. Like sometimes you meet people not in the right journey of their own life. You get what I'm saying? So you can be the right package, but be at the wrong door and maybe at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So kind of that type of situation. Yeah.
Was that the first time you talked about that? Was that the only time that you cheated? Nah. No.
I mean, a serious relationship, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you cheated when it wasn't a serious relationship? You cheated there
It
too?
wasn't like, you know how you a kid and you just,
No, I don't.
you don't, or
No,
so like
tell me.
childhood relationships, like
What age we talking about here?
teenager.
Okay. And you cheated in a child?
It wasn't like a real serious relationship, just like, you know, talking to a couple people at the same time.
Okay.
So I guess you can say it's cheating, but I don't know. It wasn't
Did they know you were talking to them?
really exclusive.
Okay.
So,
But he thought that he was the only one.
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay.
So wait, no, hold that now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I would say that was the only time.
That was the only time?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that for emotional? Was that emotional too?
Well, when I was a kid, no, I was just trying to figure out who was the right one for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
It's like dating. Like, I wouldn't say cheating. Like, most of the time I was like dating. But
They just collecting data.
Yeah.
You gotta see who's
You
right
said
for you.
that's what it is? It's collected data? That's what they...
I mean, I guess like you try to figure out, you know, who's gonna.
Right.
Listen, when I was dating back in the day, it'd be 1 week I have 10 men, and the next week I had 0. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Not like that, but like
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
to
like
them.
talking.
When I first got on my divorce and stuff,
people.
like, you know, just figuring it out. Because when I got on my divorce, I thought everybody was so nice, so friendly, and all this stuff. Then you find out some crazy stuff out here. So yeah.
Have you ever met a man and said, you know something? I'm not ready for him.
Yes.
Okay. How many good men would you say you've met in the last, I don't know, 3 years?
Well, I was in a relationship for the last 3 years. So I guess one.
You met one good man? You was in a relationship for the last 3 years. How about before that? In the last 5 years, how many good men have you met? Of course, it's the one you was in a relationship with.
5 years. 2.
2? You met 2 good. And would you say that you were submissive to him?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. You know what? Maybe I didn't know how to be at that time because I didn't even know how to be for myself. Like, you know, being divorced and not really knowing what a relationship. It was different from going from being married to dating. So
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm just was like a wife, but it was like everybody didn't deserve that, so I didn't know how to balance. So like, you know what I'm saying? So some people I may have pushed away because I just was like, you know, I didn't really know myself at that time. But as I've grown in the last, you know, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years, you know, I know that that's now what men need. And now I'm getting. I mean, not now I'm getting, but I've met men, not boys. So
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Somebody who just want to come be in your bed at night, and then somebody who wants to build with you. You know what I'm saying? Who sees who you are, sees where you're going, that pushes you, that motivates you. You know, we give and take to each other. You know. Yeah.
You feel the same way? Yeah. How many good men you met in the last 5 years?
I've been in a relationship for the last 5 years.
For the last 5 years. So you met a good man.
Yes.
And you were in a and you still in that relationship.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
So how long do you date before you get married?
I don't put a number on it. Like, it's all about how our relationship is progressing, like how he's growing, how we're growing together, how I'm growing within myself. So I don't put a date on it.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, a man knows what he has after 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
If a man ain't married you in 5 years, then you a placeholder until he find the one he want. Yeah, that's reality. I would tell my daughters the same thing. Don't never let a man make you wait no longer than 3 years to get married, right? So you take the first 6 months to a year, he know what he has. If he's a grown man, he knows what he has. And you know how you know he knows what he has? Because he's very, very territorial about you. So if he's territorial about you, then that means that he knows that it's something of value. If he's not saying you should be setting a date after 1 year. Now, men go through things financially. Something can change. We know the climate we in economically. Things can change. His health can change. Anything can change. He can lose a parent. He can lose a child. Anything can happen. But at the end of the day, you should his intentions should be clear. 5 years, bro. You need a half a decade to make me an honest woman.
You know, I can say about myself, I wasn't ready in the first 5 years, like in the first couple years.
Okay.
From, you know, I wasn't all the way divorced. I was separated, then got my divorce.
Mhm.
It's like I had to work on me a little bit first.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that was a good way to bail him out. That's
No,
good.
I'm not trying to bail him out, cause he know.
But he been there to support her and be with her, do all of that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, but there's still 3 years left after that, right? After the divorce is final, right? It's 3 years. So what's the hold up?
Maybe we gotta bring him up on here.
Yeah.
Call him up right now.
No, I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
what's the hold up?
Right, because she's beautiful, she's got her stuff going on, like, you know, she's a great
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. Typically, when men wait a long time,
Yeah.
it's because they not sure, or it's like you're not demanding it, right? You got to give a man a
Say
date.
it. Yeah, I wasn't demanding it.
Oh, we gotta give him some dates, huh?
I wasn't demanding.
Right.
No.
No. I
Yeah.
had to do some work for myself first.
So, but you've been in a relationship though,
Yeah.
so y'all been working together, right?
Yeah, working on ourselves together, individually and together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saying if she really wants to get married, she may have to give him a date now because it's getting.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah,
You should.
but it's time now. It's time.
So you,
Yeah.
It's time.
you understand
now.
what he's saying?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, cause we're milk that all the way out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be forever. You be somebody old lady.
No.
You don't want to be the old lady. That's my old lady.
I think most women have like an internal clock. Like this is, you know, this is my set date.
Right.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna tell y'all, but you know,
How old is he? I'm not asking about you. I'm asking how old is he?
he is 37.
Yeah, that's a grown man. That's a grown man. He know what he.
Yeah.
Yeah, he touching 40. He know what a woman is at this point. He's had enough, you know, of the bad to know what the good is.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
True.
What about you? How long you gonna give a man to marry you?
He going.
We got to the summer.
To the
Period.
How long would you give him?
No more than 5 years.
No more than 5 years?
Yeah.
Man, y'all are so generous with the man. Do you understand? Time is your greatest commodity. That is
you
your.
can't get it back.
You can't get that back. You give somebody 5 years. Do you understand? Listen, every failed relationship, right, is like a crime scene. All right, and how they catch criminals is that they always take something with them and they leave something behind.
That's true.
In 5 years, do you know how much this man is leaving behind for me to have to come in now and clean that up?
That's real.
So the longer you sit in the bed, the longer you sit in the bathroom, the more you come out smelling like shit. Then men got to come behind that, right? Now I got to heal what this man damaged for the last 5 years, whether it be trust, you not feeling emotionally safe, financially, spiritually, could have been a demon. I got to now work through all of that, right? And then watch this. After I work through all of that with you, you might turn around and say, you know something, you're not even the person that I want now.
Right.
Yeah, so to let somebody stay in your life for 5 years, nah, you're not staying in my life no longer than 6 months if you're not my wife. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want you near me if you're not my wife.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, real talk. And
You gotta be intentional like that.
listen, I wasn't, and I'm not saying that because I'm Jesus. I'm saying that because one, I don't trust,
Yeah.
you know,
That's right.
for somebody to stay around that long
Right.
if it's not a committed thing. And then once I start seeing certain things and, you know, living so much life, I've been on this planet now half a century. I can see shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So once I start spotting certain things, yeah, it's time to get you up out of there.
Right.
So after about 5 months, I'm looking at you like, okay, no, this ain't it. This ain't peace.
Yeah.
yeah, then I got to get you out of there.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
So why do you feel like, you know, sometimes people don't realize what they got until it's gone?
That's a good one. I think that she's a great example of that.
Okay.
I think that men get comfortable. I think people get comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that, you know something, you can give somebody access, right? The thing is that when you don't make somebody earn something, they take it for granted. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so if we're able to get what we want, and it's real easy to do that, and we consistently get it, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to show somebody like, no, look at the toil that goes behind me giving you this. It's not just that simple. But yeah, I think, and then when you don't have it now, that's a break in the routine.
Right.
Most people go back to relationships not because they really wanted to be there, but because that person became a part of their routine. And human beings like patterns.
Didn't you used to make a post about that the other day? I think I saw you talking about that.
About why people go back?
Yeah, or like breaking the patterns or something like that.
Yeah. I said life is just a process of patterns.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you got to learn how to break them. Life is just because the human mind is about patterns. So people she don't even want you. Just that she used to talk to you every day at 2:00.
Right.
She don't got nothing to do at 2:00 now.
I love
You
that.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She might just she don't want to get in the bed by herself now. It ain't that she really don't want you. She don't want a new body next to her. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, I think that people miss it because it's something that they took for granted. They didn't value it because you gave it too much. And, you know, and that goes for men as well. You know, you can't give, you know, sometimes you just over function in the underdeveloped dating scene. Like you just said, you out here is like, I'm a wife, so I'm giving people a wife. And he ain't proved that he's even a boyfriend yet. You understand what I'm saying? So when you consistently give, they say it's just there.
Right. They take it for granted.
They take it for granted. And then when it's gone and they go out there and they like, damn,
Ain't nobody doing that.
I had gold. I'm out here playing with aluminum now. Then they realize that, but by that time, it's too late now.
late.
It's too late now. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, once we disconnect, and I'm like, okay, in my mind, it's gonna sound crazy, but
I know.
you done slept with the whole club. Yeah, like it's like no. The line of men that's been with you look like Disney World.
Right.
That's how I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Right.
Cause you know, you understand what I'm saying? Even though you might have not been doing that, but for me,
Working on myself.
but for me, everybody else been working on you. For me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then on 9 times out of 10, it was something there that made me feel like you just wasn't the one. Right? You know, so but as a man, I wanna say to the women out there, y'all think that men just want to play. Y'all think that men can't be loyal. Men can't be honest. Men don't value true partnership. That we don't want commitment. That we think everything is a toy. That's not it. Once a man figures out his purpose, that line of women that were lined up for him, it gets shorter and shorter. Because they can't fit that bill. They can't foot that bill. You understand what I'm saying? Not too many women could have lined up to build that ark with Noah. So the pickings become very slim because there's only a certain amount of women who can even carry that load with him. But a man does get to a space in his life where he says, I don't want to sleep with you unless I think you my wife. I don't want to give my resources to you unless I think you my wife. Me, I'm not buying you flowers if you're not in a relationship with me. I'm giving you nothing. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not standing in line to go get you flowers and somebody else just nailed you to the cross last night. What I look like? You understand what I'm saying? No, real talk. Like, what I look like standing in line now? Because now I'm the sucker. So now he done tore you out the frame all Friday and Saturday. Now, but you're not in no relationship, right? Everything, hold on. You're not in no relationship. You just dealing with a few men. Like she said, one of y'all said dating is data. Y'all are here collecting data, right? Okay, but here's the thing. You're dealing with 3 guys. One of them tearing you out the frame. It is what it is. Okay. It is what it is, right? Nah, one of them is
celibate,
right?
Listen, first of all right, you shouldn't be dating 3 men if you celibate. And I want to know where you found them 3 men that's okay with not getting none at all. You know what I'm saying? So now let's talk reality here, okay? Okay. You be with a couple of men, right? Let's just say you're not sleeping with all 3. Let's just say you're sleeping with one. You like to date the other guy, and the other guy's really just your little phone buddy, right? Because we do got men who settle for that position, and that's a sorry thing. But whatever the case may be is, right? Okay, so now he tear you out the frame and put you through the mattress on Friday night, right? But then I told you I'm buying you flowers on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I come hand you flowers after he done did everything he wanted to do with you. What you got me for? Yo, never. I'm not buying you no flowers. I'm not doing nothing with you until you say you're mine. You understand what I'm saying?
So what would, you know?
And it ain't a woman that can come underneath this post and say anything different. I guarantee you that. Nobody can come underneath this post and say anything different. Right. I done made how many posts and got how many followers, and you've never seen nobody say he ain't who he say he is. Wow. They talk crazy, but don't nobody say, because they know. Okay. I put them screenshots up. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you play with me, right? So I don't play with women. Yeah. I let them know if this is not exclusive, right? Then don't ask me for nothing. If I can't call you and say my dick is hard, I need to handle that, don't call me and talk to me about your T-Mobile bill. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Like real talk, right? Yeah. And if you dealing with 3 guys, my thing is when you need something, shouldn't we all be giving you parts of that? Why are you just getting it from me?
She might like you the most.
Your rent is no. If you like me the most, you should care about me keeping my resources and being okay.
Y'all both have to want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes men, they don't want to be in a relationship, so you just have those people like that. Yeah.
No, okay, so here's...
You gotta find the right person. And that's about being mature, too. Those are immature things. You know what I'm saying? Like dating and like with 10 dudes and all that stuff like that. Like that's like immature. But
no, you said it was collecting data.
Yeah. Because you got to see which one, don't work out. You got to figure out what's...
No, you got to learn data entry before you start doing those things. You understand what I'm saying? When you start letting men in your life, when you start dealing with men in your life and you let multiple men in your life, understand that they rub off.
That's true.
Understand that if I'm around you, it's something about me that's going to rub off on you. You taking that to somebody else as well. Right. It might be how I say something, how I talk. It might be anything, but you're going to, because the queen is going to always imitate the king. That's just the way it is. She's going to pick up his habits, how he thinks, how he behaves. If he's a calm person, she's going to be calmer, right? So now you got 3 different people dictating who you are, right? So how is that going to work?
I don't think that each person have that much the access. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Everybody's not like
it's
that.
Limited access.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that. Like, it wasn't like
if any man, listen, I tell you what. If any man can ask you, if you give a man your phone number or your Instagram, I'm not giving you nothing. Right. I'm not doing nothing for you. Right. You be like, how much I'm spending? I'll tell you, I'm spending the night. That's it. I'm not giving you nothing.
You can tell men that you don't want to be in a relationship and they'll accept. You don't want certain things.
You don't what? You telling me you don't want to be in a relationship?
Like a guy, like if you dating a couple men at a time, you can tell them like, oh, I have other people, and they'll accept. And they'll play whatever position that you
Nah, you're not dealing with men. Nah, you dealing with boys that just want to fuck. You ain't dealing with men.
I'm not talking about having sex though. It's not about
But men think about sex every 3 to 10 seconds. This is what we do. So I
mean they gonna get it.
Yeah, but those are our intentions. Right. Like ain't no man coming around you and not thinking about sex at all. I'm not saying that that's his only intention, but ain't no man gonna be around you and say other men got access to you and you not giving me none. Like how is that? Like
not none, but
all right. Well, listen, y'all.
What?
Yeah.
What? Funny.
No, she tried to get off this topic.
Wait a minute, we gotta stop this one.
Okay.
But
all right.
I know you talk about you not giving girls money and all that stuff like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
I know I seen something online recently where it says guys are like pulling back because they had to collect data and stuff too. So they're going on date with this girl, and dates are going to be expensive. So what Did you hear anything about that online where guys
Nah, I
are kind
hear-
of cutting back on?
Nah,
Is that
nah.
boys? Would you consider that being boys, or you consider that being kind of what you're saying? Well, I'm not giving nothing, I'm not doing nothing, I'm not taking no day, I'm not buying nothing to eat, all that stuff like that. Would that be that?
I think that if you have options to do what you want to do when you get ready and dealing with different men, I'm not obligated to do anything for you. I show up like how you show up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? On top of that, dates aren't expensive. I don't understand something. Why you want to go eat somewhere you can't afford? I don't understand that. Like, I think that social media has made primarily women very entitled, where I meet you and now I have to take you to this restaurant because somebody else took you there and you liked it, or you can't afford to go there yourself. Treat your damn self. You understand what I'm saying? You went out to dinner Friday and Saturday. Why do you need me to take you out on Sunday? You got multiple men doing multiple things. No, we can go for a walk. We can have a picnic. We can go do a lot. We can go sightseeing. We can go hiking. There's a lot of things we can do that don't require my resources. And I'm not saying I'm not going to give you a water. I give you a water bottle. I give you some. I'm gonna do that. But I'm saying that,
gentleman, right?
yeah, I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to see you cold. If you cold, I'm gonna give you my jacket. I'm gonna be a gentleman. But I'm not your sucker. Like, listen. I seen a woman have in her phone. She had what emoji is that? The emoji for the man joint. What's that?
Okay. The eggplant.
Eggplant. She had the eggplant emoji next to one guy, right? She had a dinner plate next to another guy, right? Right? She had a dinner plate. She had a dinner plate next to another guy. A phone next to the other guy who she just talked to, right? Another guy he had, and one had the bag of money.
Oh wow.
No, and that's really how she played it.
You seen this in real life?
I seen this in real life.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost said her name.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
have a
seen this in
question.
real life. Go
You
ahead.
feel like you've been traumatized with the dating world, or like have people
No.
tried to use you? Or
No,
something
I
like
don't
that?
know.
Is that
I don't
wrong?
think that. I don't think having self-respect, right, and self-admiration is a trauma response.
Okay.
I think that I just stand for certain morals and principles that this dating era deems as being unacceptable. But I don't give a fuck about society and the norms. I'm a man. I stand for certain things, and that's just what it is. So let me walk you through this real quick, right? So it was a story, right, about this guy who was at a ship. And he was a private. And so he saw another ship coming his way. And so he said, hey, listen, this is private such and such. I'm gonna need you to move over because we about to have a head-on collision. I got 200 men on here. He said, the guy, from the other ship hit him back and said, hey, nice to meet you, private. He said, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to move over. Private said, why wouldn't you move over? He said, because I just can't do that. So he ran downstairs, knocked on the captain's door. Captain was taking a nap. Captain got up. He said, what's going on? He said, there's a ship coming our way. They will move. Tell them who I am. Tell them the ship. Tell them they can get court-martialed. He said, I told him that already. He put on his stuff. He's running up the metal steps. He go to the front of the ship. He get on. He say, this is Captain such and such. I need you to move over now. We're moving at these many knots. And there's about a few minutes before we have a head-on collision. I got 200 men and women on here. You will be court-martialed. He said, hey, what's up, Captain? I met your private. Good guy. I like him. He said, but I'm gonna tell you like I told him, I'm not moving over. Captain said, why not? He said, because I'm the lighthouse, right? When you're the lighthouse, right, you guide the ships. That's for relationships, friendships, partnerships, whether that friendship is carrying gold or dirt, whether that relationship is carrying aluminum or diamonds, whether that partnership is carrying trash or treasure. The lighthouse don't move. So you don't get no flowers unless you're mine.
I love that.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about a trauma response.
I love it.
It's about having principles and morals. So when one woman said, well, why wouldn't you get me flowers? It's so basic. I get flowers on the first date. They have them in the seat for me. It's nothing for men to buy a man, and nothing for men to buy a woman flowers. She said, that's so basic. I said, well, maybe that's why you get it so much, because it's so basic. But as a woman, you should want the flowers from the man who don't give them to everybody.
Right.
Just like I want your flower because everybody don't get it. You understand what I'm saying? So no, to answer your question, it's not a trauma response. This is just having principles and morals, and being willing to sit alone with them principles and those morals.
Cause you done the healing.
Exactly. So now I know who I am. I know my worth. And here's the thing: who said that you the gift? Because you have a vagina and a clit. Who said you the gift? You understand what I'm saying? The person that's the gift is the person who did the shadow work. That's Carl Jung.
That's true.
Jung, Carl Jung, shadow work. The person who went in on introspection. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm a gift just like you.
For sure.
You know?
Right. We all get.
Yeah, so if I'm a gift, why do I have to show up and give you gifts while other men have your time and your attention?
We all alike. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So you get a water bottle, or you get something that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna feed you while we out. I might do something like, okay, if we out, I gotta give you a slice
But
of
it weeds
pizza.
out the people who's not for you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It weeds out the
You-
people who are entitled, and because here's the thing, right? They say men want to play, we want to play, we want to play, all we want to do. But there are a lot of women who are taking advantage of the fact that they got 19 people in their DMs saying "Good morning, beautiful."
Yeah.
But I don't think that's. I don't know. It just depends on the woman that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there was a time when I was single and wasn't a million people in my DM or whatever the case may be, and people would think that because they see me, but it's not like that. You get what I'm saying? So
You had a lot of people in your DM, though.
No.
You did.
Wrong person.
Okay. So Tia, you telling me you never had multiple men in your DM? That's what you're telling
I'm
me?
saying like when. No.
Okay.
No, don't be a whole bunch of people on my DM.
I didn't say a whole bunch. I said multiple. That's more than that's 2, 3.
Well, it also depends on like if you're single or your relationship. Like when I was in my relationship, people respect my relationship, so they're not deeming me or none of those things like that. But even when I was single, sometimes, like you said, it's lonely when you know who you are. People will see you and things like that. Whatever they know, they may want the access, but they don't want the responsibilities. So some people are not going to come to you with all of that dumb stuff because they're not ready to be what you need them to be.
Yeah.
So it's been a lonely journey for as a woman on her word for also of not just dealing with dumb stuff.
Yeah, and let me put this out there. I don't got a problem with you saying I can't have your coochie unless we're in an exclusive relationship.
Okay.
You can keep that to yourself too.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. If she says, hey, I don't want to sleep with somebody unless he my man, I got to respect that. Right? You know, and just like my resources, right, is what I work for. I shouldn't have to just give that to you because you want it.
And sometimes I feel like as women we give so much, like we give our resources, we give love, we give all of this stuff like that, but maybe we got to pull back a little bit too and not just be so just willing to fix and nurture and do all this stuff to sometimes the people that's there as opportunists. You got to figure out what the people are looking for. Like, you know, someone are looking for meals and flowers, and this person got bill and this person got this. They're opportunists. So we got to pick the right people to give it to. We're just giving it so freely. So if we have more discipline and structure like you have, we will weed out some of the bad people in our life.
Yeah, discernment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big. I think that was good.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to YCM, Your Circle Matters. Go check him out at YCM215. I want to give a big shout out to Banana Moose. They supplied us with this right here. Go check out Banana Moose at Banana Moose on Instagram. They got 2 locations. One on Broad Street. One on Broad is delicious. One on Broad Street, and then you got one out West Philly. I want to give a shout out to Tame Salon for braiding my hair. Tame Salon, Jazz. Shout out to Mike Loud 215 for the haircut. Yeah, it took a group of people to get me here. It took a group of people. Like
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you to John and Samir for even dropping it off. I appreciate that. I have a team of people who love me, people who support me. I would not be this far in terms of my PhD if it wasn't for people like my sister who owned Banana Moose and Mike Loud 215 who got a movie coming out called Clifford coming out in movie theaters. I wouldn't be where I'm at if these people didn't stop what they do sometimes, what they doing sometimes, and come make sure that I'm okay. Like I really, because I don't have that person next to me, my family just stepped in and said, we got you.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? That's 100%, man, and I'm a lot to deal with.
That's beautiful.
But they love me unconditionally.
You're beautiful, like.
Yeah, and I want to thank y'all.
You.
You think so?
Yeah, the world needs you. The people need you. Like, we really appreciate you for coming on here and spreading, you know, so much positivity, love, and you know how your opinion on things, because we need this. Women, we need to know what men are looking for, and men need to know how to step up and be leaders. You know, so we wanted a real positive man on here to really be our first guest and really to get this conversation flowing.
Appreciate that. Thank you, and I'm honored to be here. I want to thank y'all for having me. You know, I want to thank y'all for making me the first man on this podcast. You know,
I hope we can have you back sometime.
yo, for sure. Anytime. I'm ready. Anytime.
And we support whatever you do, whatever you got going
Right.
on. We always will show up for you and be there for you. You know, and we know that you're a phone call away, and we know there's gonna be some sisters that want to come sit with you and get some men advice. So we thank you for helping the women out for a better understanding on relationships.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Tiara.
You're welcome. But we also do something where we say it's our time. So we want to ask you, what is your time to do right now in your life with, you know, basically of the conversation that we had today, healing relationships, anything different you want to?
Yeah, it's time to step out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
It's time for me because I've been so reclusive. I've been so isolated because I'm really the type of person where I kind of like go off in the mountains and do what I do. And I just be like, I don't care nothing about what's going on.
Right.
So, but I've been talking to different people. I've been opening up my circle to different people, meeting new people, you know, sitting with politicians and, you know, sitting with doctors, with other doctors, you know, and just opening up my circle. So for me, it's my time to step out of my comfort zone and lean into my purpose because God gave me every sign that you can give a man.
Period.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's my time to
Get married.
I like that one. Thank you.
Right, period.
You got
Time to
my
get
back.
married. Time to get married.
What's your time to do, Kay?
I was saying,
Give that man a deadline.
get him into your line.
Give that man a deadline.
Yes. And I would say to stop being so shut off because during my healing journey, that was a big thing for me. Like I'm like a runner. I was just like shut down and just like abandon everything, just abandon the boat. But yeah, it's just my time to just keep like trying to not abandon situations, not abandon myself. Just keep showing up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, and thank you again for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
Yes,
Appreciate
I
that.
loved it.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
All right, take care.
Bye.